Happy Friday, everybody. 6 o'clock now on your Friday morning.
We'll start with a pretty dramatic and scary moment caught on camera. A base jumper left dangling off a cliff in Grand County, Utah. The video on your screen. Rescue teams came down from a helicopter, strapped up the jumper, and hoisted them to safety. The jumper was treated and is in stable condition. The incident under investigation.
If that person's going to try that again, I don't know.
You never know.
I wouldn't. I'd be like, you know what, this is a sign.
I mean, some of them are daredevils.
People who do that absolutely will try that again.
they're
might be working on it right now if they're okay. Like, all right, what's the weather conditions like? Can we head back out this weekend?
They'll reevaluate what they did wrong.
Well, sure.
So it doesn't happen again.
But I mean, there's risk. That's the whole point of it. So I would imagine that wouldn't keep them away.
Hard
Sounds
pass.
like you're not hard pass.
Hard pass.
Respectfully
Yes.
decline.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to even jump out of an airplane. Nope, not me.
Really?
Yeah.
What about a first
My
floor,
wife wants to. I'm
first
like,
floor
no,
window?
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, well, a bunch of people in my family.
Maybe. There's a nice bush down there laying into. I don't know. All right, lately the weather's been absolutely gorgeous, but it's starting to warm up. It's not feeling like November again. We are looking at lots of clouds out there right now, acting like a blanket. We've only dropped to 68 degrees. You don't have to worry about getting rained on. Leave the umbrella at home. Leave the jacket at home. We're going to be on the lookout for some patchy fog for now. It is very isolated down here in Fayette County. Visibilities have dropped to 1/3 of a mile. The big weather headline this morning, it's even warmer than the last couple mornings by 10 to 15 degrees. Much of the area waking up to above 60 degrees, except out in Llano, where you have less cloud cover. You're in the 50s. Those winds will increase out of the south by mid-morning. That will stir up the air, get rid of the fog, number one, and we'll start to get rid of the cloud cover and then lead the charge for a huge warm-up. School day forecast goes like this. Morning clouds and patchy fog with 60s. Don't have to bundle up today, and then warming up to 85. So the bottom line, more milder nights and warmer days showing up on the weather menu. So warm, we could be challenging record highs this weekend. Next week, we're tracking a parade of lows. It's looking more and more likely that the rain faucet will turn on. We'll look at those rain chances in the Fox 7-day forecast coming up in just a few moments.
Round Rock police are searching for a suspect after a shooting that left one person dead.
The incident happened in front of a salon. Fox 7 Austin's Jessica Rivera joins us live with more on the investigation. Good morning, Jessica.
Hi, good morning, Amanda. Yes, it is still the early stages of the investigation, and detectives believe that the victim and the suspect knew each other. 911 calls came in around 5:30 p.m. at the Two Rooted Salon. When officers arrived on scene, they found an adult victim with obvious gunshot wounds. EMS attempted to save the victim. Unfortunately, the victim did die on scene. Before officers arrived, the suspect fled the scene. The suspect was then found less than a quarter mile away from the scene. Detectives say they found the suspect with what looks like self-inflicted wounds. The suspect was later pronounced dead at the scene. Detectives believe that this was an isolated incident, and evidence showed both the victims and suspect knew each other. This is an ongoing investigation. If you have any information on this incident, please reach out to Round Rock Police Department. Back to you guys in the studio.
An Austin police officer facing time in jail will soon know his fate. Officer Daniel Sanchez is charged with deadly conduct for the shooting death of tech entrepreneur Rajmoon Singhi.
Here's more from Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis.
Austin police officer Daniel Sanchez is on trial for deadly conduct. In November 2022, he's one of 3 officers who responded to a 911 call about a man pointing a rifle down the street of a South Austin neighborhood.
The further they get to the scene, the more threatening the scene becomes because of the fact that they're looking for a man with a rifle who's out on foot.
When Officer Sanchez was pulling up, 2 shots can be heard.
It would fall directly in line with active shooter protocols.
The state's use of force expert contends that.
The definition of an active shooter by that is a person who is actively engaged in killing people in an enclosed, confined area. So it's actively killing. They're killing people right now, and that drives the tactics and alert training.
What if you don't know if someone has killed someone and you come upon a scene and all you've heard 1 or 2 shots? You don't know if anyone's been killed.
That's not an active shooter.
When Officer Sanchez got out of his patrol car with his rifle, he shot Raj Munsinga 5 times.
Use of deadly force by Officer Sanchez was lawful and immediately necessary, given the totality of circumstances confronting him at the moment that he applied that force.
What is the act that he is performing that constitutes the use or attempted use of unlawful deadly force in its State's Exhibit 12?
It's not about what we in this courtroom, in the safety and security of this courtroom provided by that deputy.
The answer is he's not doing anything.
Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin News.
A popular food influencer has been shot and killed by a deputy just outside of San Antonio. Michael Duarte was killed in an incident with sheriff's deputies in Castroville, about 20 miles west of San Antonio.
The Medina County Sheriff's Office says it got a 911 call Saturday about a man with a knife acting erratically. Sheriff's Office says Duarte approached a responding deputy, and after multiple verbal commands to get on the ground, he charged forward, yelling, quote, "I'm going to kill you." Duarte was shot twice and later died at a San Antonio hospital. His talent agency said he was a devoted husband and father, and that his warmth and kindness were felt in every interaction.
The city of Austin has delayed its amended budget presentation. City staff have been reviewing all spending since voters rejected Prop Q. The higher property taxes would have given the city an additional $110 million for the next fiscal year. There's been pushback from first responders about how the city has prioritized spending. Without the additional money, some worry reallocation could hurt public safety. City leaders have pushed an amended budget presentation to Tuesday. There was a complaint about how the city posted documents in advance of yesterday's canceled discussion.
The end of the shutdown is good news for millions of Texans who were cut off from food assistance. The Department of Agriculture has moved quickly, issuing guidelines to states Wednesday night. CEO of Feeding Texas says regular food giveaways have been struggling with the added load of non-paid federal workers needing food along with the state's SNAP recipients.
We did lots of special distributions to help those federal employees who are missing paychecks. And we know, approximately in the first 2 weeks of November, about half of the SNAP caseload, and that's, over 1.5 million Texans either saw no benefits or reduced benefits. And we saw that too and show up in our lines, more people seeking help to make up for, the loss of those benefits.
Celia Cole says she expects full SNAP benefits to resume within the next 3 days.
A last-minute addition to the government funding bill that aims to ban hemp-derived THC products now has many Texas businesses concerned. Language added to the federal spending bill will ban all THC hemp products in 1 year. Mitch Fuller, the national and state legislative chairman for Texas Veterans of Foreign Wars, spent this past summer speaking against a potential statewide ban in Texas before Governor Greg Abbott vetoed the ban, choosing instead to highly regulate THC hemp. Fuller says many veterans need these products.
Of course safety is important. Of course not having children having access to this is important. But let's don't use a chainsaw approach to this. Let's use a scalpel approach to it and regulate it.
Opponents of THC hemp believe businesses have been exploiting a loophole from the 2018 Farm Bill, which allowed the hemp industry to take off. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick prioritized the failed statewide ban earlier this year. On Wednesday night, he posted a celebratory message to X reading, "Consumable, highly intoxicating hemp-derived THC is essentially banned in America."
9 minutes after 6 o'clock now on this Friday morning. As you